Hey guys, so I was just getting ready to make my breakfast and I always put berries in my oatmeal, and I just thought I would pop in and just share something that might be helpful for you guys. And honestly, I can't remember if I've already told you this, if I did a video on it last week. So if I did, I'm sorry, but these things just sort of come to me and I want to quickly do a video while my house is quiet and I have a moment and before the thought leaves my head. So let's talk about fruit for a second. So our purple container. We all get, I think, at least two of these, and some of you will get more, depending where you are in your calorie bracket. So my advice with fruit is to try and eat it earlier in the day. The reason for that is because fruit has a lot of sugar in it. And yes, it's natural sugar, but sugar, regardless of the form, it can add up to sort of extra calories, and we hold on to sugar more than we do other nutrients. And even though it is natural sugar, there's no added sugar into it. It still is sugar. And we tend to hold sugar in our belly area. So if you are maybe trying to lose the last 5 pounds or the last 10 pounds, or you're just trying to tone up a little bit more, you really want to try and get all your purple containers in earlier in the day. I used to always have a purple at night, but then when I sort of realized this and it made sense to me, I started putting it in earlier in the day. So you want to have it earlier in the day so that your body works off those natural sugars instead of going to bed with those sugars in your body, because then they will just sort of sit there and they will add up to sort of unwanted pounds over time if you are consistent with having your purples later on in the day. So I always have one first thing in the morning with my breakfast, and then I usually have my second one right after lunch, because for me, since I've sort of changed my eating, I always still like to have something sweet after I eat a meal. And now for me, fruit gives me that sort of dessert feel because I've cut out sugar so much, that now having a purple container of berries or an apple, that sort of gives me that sweetness that I need in order to feel satisfied after I've had something. So that's what I do. Now, this time of year, if you are in Canada, our fruit selection is not that great. So what I have been doing pretty much since like the fall and especially this winter is I have been buying frozen fruit. It's actually crazy how much cheaper it is to buy frozen fruit, and no maintenance at all. It's already like chopped, washed, everything. You don't have to do anything with it, and you can just store it in your freezer. It doesn't take up a ton of room in your fridge. It's not going to spoil as fast, obviously. And the really cool thing that I sort of learned from just reading a book about nutrition is that the the fruit that we're getting in the grocery store, it was picked, like if it was berries, those berries were picked so long ago. Like I'm talking more than weeks, like maybe even like a month ago, could even be longer, because those berries are coming from like Brazil or Peru. I don't know where they're coming from, but they're not coming from Canada or Ontario. So they are coming from like the other side of the world, and they're being picked there, and then they're being transported however they get here, and then they are sitting in our grocery store or a warehouse, and then in the grocery store, and then they're coming to our table. So by the time they get to us, there's actually like hardly any nutrients left in that fruit. Like the berries, they've lost their nutritional value, because the thing is, when you pick a fruit or a vegetable off of the vine, it immediately starts to lose its powerful nutrients. So you can imagine, even like 5 minutes after it being picked, it starts to lose nutrition. An hour after, a few days after. So you can imagine, if it's been weeks since those berries have been picked, there's really not much left in them as far as nutrition. And sometimes they don't even really taste that good because they're just not as powerful anymore. And usually the fruit right now doesn't even look that good. And it's expensive. Like if you go look at strawberries or raspberries right now, unless they're on sale, they're expensive. And I find that they spoil so fast as soon as you get them home. If you're not eating them within a day or two, they spoil. So I have been loving this whole frozen fruit thing. I buy frozen berries, like a mixed berries like this. I buy frozen strawberries, frozen cherries. You can get like a little like variety pack. I buy the big bags from Costco because if you do find like the small bags at maybe a local grocery store, they are going to be more money. But even like at Walmart, you can buy big bags of frozen fruit. So I have just loaded our freezer with that. My kids will take it in their lunch. I just dump it into a little Tupperware container for them. And then by the time they have lunch at school, it's thawed out a little bit. And it's actually really good to have it sort of like half frozen. It's like you eat it slower, obviously, and it's so yummy. Everyone in my family has sort of like taken a new love for this whole frozen fruit thing. And what I do, this is going to go in my oats right now, but then I'll fill up another one right now and I'll leave it on my container. And then that way by lunchtime, it's like the perfect consistency, and they're sort of juicy and they're sweet and so like full of flavor. And they are so much healthier for you than the fresh berries this time of year. The other thing I wanted to mention was, if you're doing Core de Force right now, hopefully you guys have already sort of noticed, if you looked at the eating plan, that you all get an extra purple container this week. So week 2, you get an extra purple container. So don't forget about that. Next week, week 3, you keep the extra purple and you also add in an extra blue. And then week 4, you go back to the regular eating plan. So make sure you guys are all really taking a close look at the eating plan that comes with your specific program, because they're all different. So week 2 of Core de Force, we're working a little bit harder than we were week 1. And, you're adding in, I think it's like the whatever, I don't know, it's like a core workout. You're adding in an extra workout, so you're working out harder. So our body needs that extra calories, and so they add in a purple for that reason. These programs are not designed by someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. Like, I didn't design these. Someone like who actually knows about nutrition and calorie burning and what our body needs designed these programs. So we really need to follow them in order to see true results. So make sure you guys are looking at your program. Another thing I just wanted to add quickly, I think it is amazing if you can start adding in an ab workout, even 3 times a week. Just commit to adding in an ab workout. All the programs come with an ab routine with them, like a 10-minute ab or 5-minute ab. And if you have Beachbody On Demand, you can actually just search in like the search bar abs, and it'll pull up all the ab workouts from every single program. So like Body Beast has an awesome ab routine. Core de Force has a 5-minute hardcore on the floor. It's awesome. Of course, 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme have ab programs. Hammer and Chisel, like all of them have this quick little ab routine. And if you do it before your workout, you are having much better chances of actually doing it and completing it. If I try and do it after my workout, I usually come up with an excuse of why I don't have time to do it or why I don't need to do that 5-minute or 10-minute ab workout. So do it before you do your scheduled workout, and I promise you, you will take your results to a whole other level, even by committing to do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, throw in an ab routine. It's really cool, and you can try out so many different ones. Anyways, that is my tip for today, and I hope you guys all have a lovely day, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.